Greetings and welcome to the Prime Directive. I'm your host Jefficho. My co-host is always Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
Chris, what Star Trek topic are we going to be discussing today on the Prime Directive?
Well, I guess this isn't so much Star Trek, but it's something that a lot of Star Trek fans are talking about. And today we're going to be talking about Seth MacFarlane's new series, The Orville.
What do we know about the format of The Orville?
Yeah, so reports are that we're getting full hour-long episodes here. We're also going to be getting a 13-episode season, and the show is going to be set about 300 years into Earth's future.
Yeah, interviews with Seth MacFarlane said his influencers were Star Trek and Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and that's something that you can see in a lot of his other work. Family Guy, there's been a lot of Star Trek references in that.
He brought Patrick Stewart on as an American Dad.
Absolutely, and Seth MacFarlane himself has even been involved in Star Trek projects before, appearing in Enterprise, I believe.
The dilithium matrix has got to be aligned within 0.3 microns.
The specs say 0.5.
Who do you think wrote those specs?
A warp field specialist?
Exactly. Some guy who's probably never been outside the solar system.
Aye, sir.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people have seen the trailer by now, and they really do seem to be pushing the comedy for that.
Yeah, there's lots of great jokes in there.
Yeah, pee jokes.
Yeah, banana-related jokes.
I have figured out a way to manipulate the speed of events.
So, it's an anti-banana ray.
It's really interesting.
We need no longer fear the banana.
Does it work on all fruit?
What about salad?
So a lot of people who maybe don't like Seth MacFarlane's brand of humor might have been turned off by that trailer.
Yeah, I think one of the things I was looking at was if you watched A Million Days of Die in the West, you kept seeing the jokes in the trailer, and you're going to see them all in the movie. But you're only really seeing the jokes from the pilot episode, so we're going to get fresh jokes every single episode.
Yeah, that's true. And another thing I've seen a lot of in basically every interview with people involved with this project, and even from Seth MacFarlane themselves, is that they keep emphasizing that this show is also going to be doing a lot of good, thoughtful sci-fi stories, as well as having humor. Everyone seems to want to emphasize that they are going to be actually tackling issues and trying to make people think as well.
Yeah, I think he's taking a look at the sci-fi ground right now and being like, there's not a lot of shows out there with a lot of meaning behind them, like sending messages. And so, like, at the end of every Twilight Zone episode, there's this thoughtful, provoking moment.
It's all right now, darling.
I know. But I'm the only one who does know. Right now.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of our Star Trek episodes, same thing.
Yep.
So I think he's trying to tackle that and bring that back into the main fold, because as he said in one of his things, the future is always dystopian now. Everything's Hunger Games. We're not getting the futures that we used to get that were bright.
Yep.
And, something to strive towards.
Absolutely. And, this isn't the first time Star Trek fans have seen maybe some misleading trailers recently. Star Trek Beyond turned out so much better than the trailer would have suggested for that.
Yeah, that trailer almost sabotaged it.
Oh. Absolutely awful.
But great movie.
Yes, great movie. Yeah, so if this ends up being something more like Scrubs in space and less like Family Guy in space, then I think that's going to be pretty exciting for me. I'd be very interested in a show like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the fact that this could also be like, thoughtful science fiction and could poke fun of Trek all the time.
Yeah. Like, whales? Are you serious?
Oh god, that would be amazing. Yeah, there's so many little Star Trek things you could just poke fun of.
Yep.
And science fiction in general. I hear there's a lot of Star Trek people working behind the sets, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
And then, you were saying something about it being scored?
Yeah, according to Robert Duncan McNeil, who we might better know as Tom Paris, he's going to be directing episode 3, and he's mentioned that they are scoring the entire show in front of a real orchestra, somewhat like they used to do for TOS and TNG.
No, that's going to be pretty awesome then.
Yeah.
So Chris, should we jump in the cast?
Let's do it.
Alright, so what do you think of Seth MacFarlane as a lead?
I don't think I've seen Seth MacFarlane in a lot of live action. Does he have much of a history with that?
I think just A Million Ways to Die in the West is his biggest thing, but other than that, it's just kind of one-off episodes, mostly voice work.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how he adapts to that. There's a lot more challenges with live action where you have to be a bit more expressive, using your whole body instead of just getting everything across with your voice. But
well, as a comedian or whatever, like, he has a lot of expression, and from what I hear, mostly from voice workers, it's people acting in the booth.
Yeah. Still, it'll be interesting to see how this comes across as a lead for a live action series. But I'll give him a chance.
Yeah, I think his passion behind this is enough for me to watch this series just for him.
For sure.
We also got Chad Coleman from The Expanse, played Fred Johnson there. I know you only starred in that, but he seems pretty solid in it.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a strong, powerful character, so I don't know who he's playing in this, but it looks pretty good.
All right.
Scott Grimes, he was in Robin Hood with Russell Crowe.
Oh, okay.
He played Will Scarlet there, but mostly he's been the voice guy for Seth for the longest time in Family Guy and American Dad.
All right.
So they're good buddies, and I believe they're playing buddies in this.
Okay. So it'll be interesting to see how that translates to the screen.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us about Penny Johnson?
Yeah, this is going to be our first big Trek alum. Of course, Star Trek fans are going to recognize her mostly as Cassidy Yates from Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, I enjoyed when she showed up on Castle. She was like the chief there for the longest time, 3 or 4 seasons.
Okay.
I always thought Sisko could do better than her. She was kind of like always in trouble.
Maquis sympathizing.
Yeah. It's come to our attention that there may be a Maquis smuggler here on the station.
Who is it?
Cassidy Yates. There are times we have to search vessels docked at the station. If you can find a reason, we'll let you know.
Next up, we have Adrian Pilecki from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., John Wick. She'll be playing Kelly Grayson, Seth MacFarlane's wife in this.
Ex-wife.
Ex-wife, yeah.
Yeah. Ex-wife jokes.
I've mentioned my current wife a couple of times. I should say estranged wife. We're in the process of getting divorced. I learned a lot from the relationship. I learned that they won't sell you a handgun if you're crying.
Yeah, she's a pretty established actor. They were actually going to give her own spin-off series from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because her and Hunter in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. were like just kind of above the material.
Oh,
but then
carrying the show.
Yeah, I guess after the little pilot didn't go, then she just kind of had to land on her feet somewhere else. But then we're going to have Norm Macdonald as Yaphet.
Oh, no. Oh, crap. Sorry, man. You okay?
Yeah, it's all good, man. You okay?
Yeah, all good. Sorry.
All right, no worries.
I'm looking forward to this guy the most from the trailer.
Yeah? You always wanted one of those life forms on the ship?
Yeah. No, I think it would be pretty cool to have a non-humanoid alien. And, I just like the joke that Captain just running straight through the guy.
Yeah, you were saying he could get sucked up tubes and...
Yeah, just a little reoccurring thing where he's just constantly getting into trouble because he's goo.
So next up we have Halstrom Sage. She's going to be playing Atara Katan.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be an interesting life form.
Yeah. All we get from the trailer is that she's super strong, but I wonder if she's going to have any other abilities.
Laura, you want to open this jar of pickles for me? I loosened it for you.
And lastly, we have Victor Garber, who's going to be Admiral Hazley.
Yeah, he's done a lot of television. I mean, he was the dad in Alias. He was in Legends of Tomorrow. He jumps back and forth between movies and TV. So, established actor. It only sits in for 1 episode, though.
Was he the guy right at the start where Seth eats the marble?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Delicious marbles.
Yeah.
So, Chris, I hear there's going to be a lot more cameos, too.
Yeah, we've been hearing a lot about Star Trek alum getting involved in this, and one that you may not have heard of yet, that I've seen on pretty good authority, is Robert Picardo is going to be involved. Of course, the Doctor from Voyager.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Had they have set a Star Trek series in 24th Century, so many actors from those series, like, we had three series there, they all could have come and cameoed. However, with a series that has nothing to do with Star Trek, any actor could come cameo on it.
Yep, absolutely. We've got Frakes directing. We've got Robert Duncan McNeil directing. We have the actor who played Bashir's father is going to be involved, at least in episode 1 we saw in the trailer. Cassidy Yates, of course, and I assume there's going to be more and more and more as this goes on.
Yeah, as Seth MacFarlane has a good relationship adding all these Star Trek actors in Family Guy and American Dad.
Yeah, he's worked with them before.
I think he's going to be able to get a lot of them on there. I'm looking forward to maybe seeing William Shatner himself.
Oh, yeah, very excited.
Well, Chris, you mentioned directors. Like, not only do we have Frakes directing, Robert Duncan McNeil, Tom Paris, he's going to direct. McFarlane's going to direct, but directing the pilot is Jon Favreau.
Okay.
He's the Iron Man Jungle Book director.
Oh.
Well-established director. Does his own acting. He's in all the Iron Man movies.
Okay.
But I don't think they could have asked for a better director for that. And I also hear he's a producer on it. He works with MacFarlane developing this. So even though Seth is credited as the sole writer, I think they're kind of a team on this.
Alright, yeah. There's going to be some other influence in there.
So Chris, I hear we're using physical models and CGI. Which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's a little rare these days. Most people just opt for pure CGI, but when you do it right, I think it still almost always looks better to have some physical models going on.
Yeah, well, it'll save money so they can put budget elsewhere. And, the less you're spending, the longer your show's going to survive.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things I really like about the aesthetic going on here is I find it to be very reminiscent of the Enterprise D, sort of the TNG era design. It's very bright, it's very well lit. It has the same sort of feeling. People would criticize TNG as looking like the Hotel Marriott in space. And maybe that's a valid criticism, but I think they did take a lot of design cues from Picard's Enterprise and apply them here. I mean, the bridge is carpeted, for God's sake. You can see that in the trailer, and I don't think we have had a carpeted starship bridge since TNG.
Yeah, weren't you saying that even his ready room looks a lot like Picard's ready room?
Yeah, we only get it for a couple seconds when he's arguing with his ex-wife there, but just the corner of the ready room that we actually see in that shot really reminded me of TNG. It looked a lot like Picard's ready room.
Well, that's our coverage for the Orville.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I look forward to watching the first season of this exciting new sci-fi series before Fox cancels it.
Oh, I don't think Fox can cancel it because Seth MacFarlane has made them a lot of money, and they owe him.
Okay, I hadn't considered that angle.
Yeah.
I just saw Fox and Sci-fi.
Generally, you'd be correct, but he has made that channel.
All right.
And as always, thanks for watching. I mean, we could technically even have Klingons in here. I mean, they'd have to look different, and it'd make you feel like it's not Star Trek, but...
Yeah. If they change the look.
Yeah.
If they have different looking Klingons, it can't possibly be Star Trek.
Yeah, so, that's covered.
Yeah. I think no issues there.